So for those of you guys who don't know Dr. James Sharkey, let me tell you, Dr. James is our Chief Science Officer. And you may have caught a webinar that Jen did recently with Dr. James, where they were talking about all of the CBD products that we have. So you guys covered the CBD industry, talked about some of the different Hempworx products. But this webinar is going to be specifically about the new Hempworx CBD Softgels. So we're really, really excited to kick this off. For those of you guys who did not attend our MDC virtual launch event, it was an amazing event. We, as you guys probably know, we had to cancel our roadshow events, but we converted it into a virtual launch. So it was incredible. We had something like 4,000 people on Zoom. We had 2,000 or 3,000 on Facebook Live, and then Jen told everybody to start a watch party. So that created like a ton of momentum, and I think now there's already 140,000 views on the virtual launch. So it was a really successful launch, and we have another one this weekend. So couldn't be more excited to do that as well. And the soft gels were one of the products that we launched. And let me just say, since launching the soft gels, it's been crazy. Probably sometime next week, we're going to have to back order the soft gels. There's been so many people ordering these products. We've been running around like crazy trying to get more stock in from the vendors. So I'd say it's a pretty successful launch so far. And the soft gels are now available on auto ship. So if you haven't had a chance to set up your auto ship for soft gels, you can now do that on the auto ship page. So let's welcome Dr. James to the call. Thanks for joining us and taking some time out to educate us on our CBD soft gels.
Thanks, Josh. As you can see, I'm home as well. So like everyone else, and I'm excited to talk more about these soft gels and to explain how it works, and also the thought processes as to how these products came to be. So
awesome. Well, I think it would really help everybody. Understand, like, you work extensively with our vendors, our formulators, our chief science officers at various farms. Maybe you can tell us, like, what do you go through on a daily basis when it comes to making these types of products or products for MyDailyChoice and Hempworx? Like, what does your process look like?
Well, every product begins as an idea, whether it be something I come up with myself, you or Jen come up and say, hey, we need this. And so from there, we're looking at how can I make this great and most benefit. So I start going to the science. I'm looking for natural ingredients. I'm looking for these ingredients that are both natural and have the science to support them. I will look at active amounts, how I'm going to deliver it, what additional ingredients may need to be in there to assist in delivery and make it work the way we want to. And then once I have that candidate formulation, we'll contact one of our vendors who will then take a look at it, take a look at the formula, and then begin their process of research and development. And there's a back and forth and an exchange of ideas there between myself and the vendor, the CSO there, or whoever is handling the project. And that finally results after some testing and occasionally some tweaks and a final product that you see today and what we are able to offer.
Awesome. When you're working with all these vendors, I know from just being in the office, a lot of times you have to go through several different variations of products before you arrive at the perfect formulation. Maybe you can tell us, like, in terms of approving and accepting a formulation, Like what does that look like? Could it be 10 different samples, 20 samples, 50 samples? Like how many variations do you go through before you arrive at what is the best formula with products?
The easiest answer to that question is as many as it takes. When you're working with these ingredients, you understand and become familiar with them. And so you have a good idea of exactly what the right amounts to mix in. And then there is the back and forth, because sometimes, your initial formula may not be one that's practical to be manufactured. So there's that back and forth. And then, okay, you have a candidate test sample. Now we have to test it and make sure that it works like we think it should. And, that can go through a couple rounds as well. For example, with these, initially we made the decision to make it a vegetarian capsule, not an animal capsule, unlike a lot of the other gel caps that are out there. Animal-based gelatin, we wanted to go away from that. Another thing is you'll notice that there's beeswax in there. That beeswax was added after the fact, and that's to help carry some of these additional ingredients.
I see. And during this process that you're going through, do you feel like, because like when I've been in the office, there's like samples everywhere, right? You've got all these different samples of products. So like with these soft gels particularly, I know that bovine was a big deal, trying to get vegetarian soft gel. So maybe you can talk a little bit about that process, because it was very difficult to find a soft gel that was a vegetarian soft gel.
No, it was a tricky process, and you are in ways bovine. The reason why bovine gelatin is so prevalent in the gel cap industry is because it's easy. There's a lot of it. It's easy to work with. Once you get into these vegetarian gel caps, you have factors of, okay, is your shell forming correctly? Is my product stable under heat? Or cold? And does it digest accordingly, so that we're delivering the beneficials in the most efficient way? So in this case, you have to make some significant choices about the content of that shell. And we went with a carrageenan, which is a high quality, high molecular weight carrageenan, which is not absorbed by the body. It is easily broken down in the intestine. And so that's the thought process that underwent to go from a bovine capsule to a vegetarian.
Awesome. So, these soft gels, they're broad spectrum CBD. They're 750 milligrams per bottle. So there's 30 soft gels to each bottle, which means there's 25 milligrams of CBD per soft gel. And there's no THC at all. One of the things that I saw was there's MCT oil in the soft gels. And, we've always been promoting hemp seed oil, right? Like in our tinctures, the carrier oil is hemp seed oil. So, one of the questions that, I got from some leaders was, why did we choose MCT oil in these soft gels versus like hemp seed or a different type of, carrier oil?
The reason why this is, there's a couple of different reasons. One, we're talking about a very small volume compared to our tinctures. So if I'm delivering, just cannabinoids, cold pressed hemp seed oil is the way to go. The problem is that when we get into this small amount and having to add an emulsifier to help boost the absorption, the hemp seed oil proved to be too complex a mixture. It was just too heavy, too much for the sunflower lecithin to handle. So we had to go to an alternate, which was the MCT oil, which is, yes, it's more processed, but it is doesn't require as much emulsification strength. So we didn't want to overload our sunflower lecithin or have to add too much of it.
And is there a benefit to having MCT oil in the soft gels over the hemp seed oil?
Just because it's not as complex, and you still need that fat source. What we have said all along with our tinctures is that the cold pressed hemp seed oil provides lots of beneficial fats which help deliver the CBD more efficiently. You still need that in that, and it was one of those things where we just had so little to give, so little space to work with, that the MCT oil was kind of the best choice there, and we're still looking, and we may, no formula is ever complete, and if there's always ways to make things better, we constantly do that. I constantly look to do that.
I see. So another question that I have is, like for a long time as a company, we've been promoting higher absorption with sublinguals, like our spray line that we have, and even the tinctures, that's something that, we've always promoted as a company. So how do these soft gels absorb differently than like a traditional pill or capsule? How is it effective in the body when somebody's taking it?
Well, the difference with this is that sublingual is the way to go if I'm delivering cannabinoids, in our tinctures. That's the way we want to go. But in this case, we're delivering additional beneficial ingredients, which some are problematic in tinctures. So we really had to think about this. And the good thing about the gel cap and what it allows us to do is the shell of it is made of carbohydrates. And those carbohydrates primarily get broken down either in the mouth, but since we're swallowing it, it's not a lot of chewing or exposure to saliva. So it gets broken down in the small intestine. That's the next place where the necessary digestive enzymes are to break down carbohydrates, the pancreatic amylases. So therefore, we're breaking down the shell, which then breaks down very easy in pancreatic amylases and releases the internals, the beneficial ingredients in the small intestine where it can be readily absorbed. So instead of going through the mucosa in the mouth, under the tongue, we're now going in the small intestine.
I see. So if I'm understanding you correctly, and I'm going to just try to bring it back to a language that I can understand. So if somebody wants cannabinoids and the purest form of CBD, are you saying that they should take tinctures because it's very minimalistic in terms of the delivery system and the ingredients? But if they want added benefits of additional ingredients outside of CBD, they should take the soft gels?
Precisely, yeah. And you'll notice we don't have a CBD-only soft gel. Right. It's just, the tinctures are superior to deliver cannabinoids by themselves.
Okay. And then another question that I have, and I was actually asked this today, from a guy that was really interested in the CBD melatonin soft gel. He asked specifically, how quickly can somebody see results by taking these soft gels? Like for the tinctures, there's some people that, can feel it immediately. There's some people where it's more of, they're taking it every day and they feel it over time. And for some people, it's what they feel from not taking the product, right? So comparing the other Hempworx products to these, how quickly should somebody see results if they're using like the CBD plus melatonin or the CBD plus curcumin? How fast is it? Is it instant? Does it take a little bit of time? Well, how would you answer that?
I would answer it this way. It's going to vary by the product and it's going to vary by the individual, just like we're seeing just like you described with the tinctures. The CBD melatonin and the coffee berry, it would be reasonable to see effects in half an hour to an hour. The curcumin, considering that is primarily a joint health product, you may not notice. The benefits are going to be more subtle. And, you feel the effects of the CBD within the hour, the general feeling of well-being. But as far as the joint health, it may be more subtle. It could be something as simple as having more mobility, which is a lot harder to detect, for lack of a better way of saying it.
I see. All right, I think what would help is to go into some of the specific soft gels. So let's start with the CBD plus melatonin. I'm really excited to test this product out. So it's got CBD, it's got melatonin. It helps to support relaxation, healthy sleep, promotes having a perfect night's rest. And melatonin is a natural peptide hormone that basically tells your body that it's time to sleep. There's some antioxidant effects of this product as well. And because this product helps support your serotonin levels, you don't wake up feeling tired and groggy. Is that correct?
Yes. This is you nailed it. Melatonin is the natural circadian messenger of nighttime. Our bodies, it's released from the pineal gland at night after sunset or when we're no longer exposed to light. And then it goes throughout the bloodstream, and the receptors, the MT1 and MT2, there are two, are throughout the body. So it shifts us from a wakeful to a rest type functions and starts shifting the metabolism naturally.
Didn't you tell me that you're like an expert with melatonin?
I did work on melatonin, so I spent 5.5 years with this molecule, so I know it pretty well.
Okay. Is melatonin, so my understanding of melatonin is that our body naturally produces it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if our body naturally produces it, why do we need to take more of it?
Simply because modern life is an assault on the pineal gland and our melatonin levels. Our pineal gland, which is the gland at the top of our head, produces and releases the melatonin. And the key there is the release of the melatonin. Blue light, which comes off of our TV screens, off of our computer screens, off our phones, actually stops the release of melatonin. So once that has gone away, then the melatonin then can release. And then, but because it's long after dark before we put away our phones and turn off our TVs, we're already behind the curve of where we should be on our normal melatonin profile if we were just out camping, per se, without this blue light assault that is modern technology.
I see. Okay. And in this soft gel, there's 5 milligrams of melatonin per soft gel. That's correct?
Yes.
Okay. Why did you arrive at 5 milligrams per soft gel? Like, what's the methodology behind 5? Is that like a suggested milligram count that we should be taking every day, or what's the thought process behind that?
There are studies that show that this is best for to help get you to that point of being able to have a real night's sleep when you're looking for half an hour to an hour before bedtime. So that is actually why we have 5 milligrams of melatonin. It's the catch-up dose for, where we're not having it due to our lifestyle.
I see. Now, here's another question. Let's say I'm somebody that has trouble sleeping,
mm-hmm.
and I take one of these soft gels, and let's say it doesn't work for me. The next day, can I double up? Is it safe to take 2 soft gels and see if it helps me sleep better? I mean, it would be, 10 milligrams of melatonin. Is that something that we can recommend to people to do? Or is it really, you should only take one 30 minutes before bed or 30 minutes to an hour before bed?
You can safely take 2, Josh. That would be fine. Now, mind you, if that still doesn't work, then you probably have something that's going on that's keeping you awake other than that melatonin just can't get past. So.
Okay, awesome. So let's move on to the next one, and then maybe after we talk about all of the products, we'll open it up for a little Q&A at the end. So this one's really interesting. CBD plus curcumin promotes healthy joints, healthy energy levels. Also helps with the immune system. It neutralizes free radical activity in the body. Promotes, once again, healthy joints, energy levels, the immune system. Tell us a little bit about curcumin. What is curcumin? Where does it come from? Why is it beneficial? Why should people be taking this every day?
Well, curcumin has been known for 4,000 years to support many areas of health. It is part of the Ayurvedic or Indian tradition, and it's been used for joint health, healthy energy levels, and supporting the immune system, which, we should be supporting all of these every day, because all of these kind of dwindle as we age.
Does the curcumin work like with CBD to do something specific for these benefits? Are you allowed to say that?
What I can say is this: I can talk about this more as a principle. And the principle is this, is that our bodies are very complex systems. And when you understand how these ingredients work, and they work by very specific means to support, our health, you can combine them in ways to where they converge. So you don't have them fighting over the same mechanisms of support, and then they work together and cooperatively to increase, to better support our health. So specifically, the joint health, CBD has been shown to do that. The immune system, CBD has also been shown to support our immune health and the function of the immune system. And curcumin has done the same thing, but it does it a little differently in different ways than CBD does. So by combining the two together, you can really, really get an amazing product.
Let's talk a little bit about the immune system, because I know that's a really hot topic right now. How does this product support the immune system? Does it boost the immune system? Does it optimize the body? How does if somebody's trying to support having a healthy immune system, how does this product help them do that?
It tuning to the immune system. It optimizes it and brings it to a very good state, supporting very good health of the immune system and all of its functions. And like I mentioned earlier, the inflammatory system is part of the immune system, and having all aspects of the immune system functioning every day, and not just now that we're so worried about it, is a huge benefit to our quality of life.
I see. Awesome. One more question I have about this product is the milligram count. 50 milligrams of curcumin. Why that much? What's the methodology behind that?
There was actually some thought about this, and studies have shown as low as 100 milligrams of just pure curcumin a day, which is not very easily absorbed by the body, can have significant benefits and significant support to our health. However, because we have that sunflower lecithin, that emulsifier, studies have shown combining curcumin with an emulsifier, it effectively increases the absorption by manyfold. And so this allows us to have 50 milligrams per day be precisely to be a good effective dose to provide the we want to provide.
Awesome. All right, this is one that I know of the soft gels, this one's moving like crazy. The CBD plus supports cognitive performance and active lifestyle. It's sustainably sourced from farms that are certified by the Rainforest Alliance. And there's two main would you say there's two main ingredients to this, neurofactor and coffee berry, which are both trademarked ingredients?
Mm-hmm.
So tell us about, let's start with coffee berry. What is coffee berry, and how is it different than coffee? Maybe you can touch a little bit on the caffeine, but tell us all about coffee berry.
Okay, so coffee berry, it is trademarked and patented, Josh, patented extract of the coffee cherry. All of our coffee come from the Arabica plant, or Arabica tree, which is a close cousin to the cherry tree. In the past, what has happened is on our coffee plantations, they just strip the fruit off to get to the inner pit or coffee bean, and then they roast that and grind it up, and there's their coffee. What they didn't realize is that they were throwing away the best part of the cherry, to be honest, for health. That fruit of the cherry, or what we term as the coffee berry extract, is rich in polyphenols and other beneficial organic acids, which really play and support healthy energy levels, our fat metabolism, as well as mobilization of energy stores from body fat. So it is just really different, and the amount of caffeine in the fruit flesh is significantly less than what is in the bean. You're talking about 3 milligrams versus hundreds in the coffee bean itself.
So to touch on caffeine, so if I drink a cup of coffee, I'm going to feel the benefits from the caffeine that's in the coffee.
80 milligrams.
If I'm taking this soft gel, is there caffeine in it? Would I still feel that same effect like drinking a cup of coffee? Would I feel more energized, or how would I feel after taking CBD plus coffee berry?
CBD plus coffee berry will give you energy similar to your cup of coffee, but we're not relying on caffeine to deliver that. We're relying on the other beneficial molecules in it, those polyphenols, the chlorogenic acids and whatnot.
What is a polyphenol?
Polyphenol is a class of compounds that is primarily made by plants. It has multiple phenolic groups, and I know there's no easy way to say that to explain it, but these are body, and they really support things like energy metabolism and other processes around energy and how our body maintains and mobilizes its energy stores. So that coffee berry mobilizes the energy stores, and the CBD gives us that feeling of well-being and whatnot, so you get great energy without the junk in that cup of coffee you mentioned.
I see. And tell us about neurofactor.
Neurofactor is interesting. It is a proprietary blend of some of the polyphenols coming from the same coffee fruit, which triggers and supports the body's production of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF. And BDNF is responsible for it plays a huge role in supporting our brain function. And it has also been associated with that post-workout high, or that runner's high. Aerobic exercise, intense aerobic exercise, has been shown to dramatically increase the levels of BDNF in our blood. So
is this a good product for like MMA fighters, for people that are very active in the gym, people that are going through extreme exercise? Is this a good product to take, and would they take it before their workout, or would they take it after their workout?
You could take it before to give you that energy going in. I think we all know what you would want to take after. The one that better suited to support the active lifestyle, that would be the CBD plus curcumin. But this, the CBD plus coffee berry really just gets you on that and primed for a workout. So it could definitely be used in that manner.
So you take it before your workout, and then you could take the CBD plus curcumin like after a workout.
If necessary, yep, definitely.
And then there's 100 milligrams of the neurofactor and 100 milligrams of the coffee berry extract. It seems like a lot compared to the other two soft gels. So tell us why we need that much of the neurofactor and coffee berry. What type of benefit will that have by taking combined 200 milligrams of those two ingredients?
The easiest way to talk about this is when we talk about, say, our hemp extracts. Instead of a purified form of the substance of the molecule, like in the melatonin or the curcumin, we're providing a blend of the different beneficial molecules, very similar to our hemp extracts. In a broad hemp extract, you've got CBD, CBC, some terpenes. Full spectrum, you have THC plus a little more. So when adding, you have to add a little bit more to get the beneficial levels of each of those components within it.
I see. And then one more question I have is on the CBD content on these soft gels. So if you compare this to like our 500 milligram tinctures, you're at 10 milligrams per serving. Our 750 milligram tinctures are 15 milligrams per serving, and then the 1500 milligram tinctures are 30 milligrams per serving. These are right at 25 milligrams. Now, from me doing my due diligence on soft gels, I've noticed that a lot of soft gels are 10 milligrams, and some of them are even the same price, like 10 milligrams per soft gel and $70, $80 for a whole bottle. But why did we decide on 25 milligrams for the soft gels? Is that a good number? Is it the right number for these products? This is a whole new category for us. So why 25 milligrams?
It's a whole new category. It allows us to, we're delivering it in a different manner than what we normally do, which would account for the difference between the amount per serving. And then also it was an opportunity to give our affiliates and our customers more value. And, we're not only are we giving the value of the additional ingredients, but we were able to provide them with additional CBD or soft gel. So it's a winning proposition all around.
So another question that I have is each soft gel has 25 milligrams of CBD. So do I, as a customer, do I need to be careful with taking all three of them the same day, because that's 75 milligrams of CBD? Like if I take, let's say, coffee berry in the morning before my workout, and then I take CBD curcumin, as maybe a post-workout, and then I take CBD melatonin at night, are there any issues with doing that because of the CBD content?
There shouldn't be, because if you think about it this way, because you're probably going to be taking it at different times out of the day, and our body's natural clearance processes for CBD, you're not going to end up with a huge problem there. And the total dose, if you were to take all three simultaneously and take 75 milligrams, I'll just use a 150-pound individual. That would be less than 1 milligram per kilogram total dose, which is well below anything we would have to worry about.
Would it be problematic with other delivery systems where, like, say, tinctures? I mean, the highest concentration we have is 30 milligrams, and we don't go above that for tinctures. Is it different because of this delivery system with the soft gels, where they could take them in combination together versus, like tinctures or other types of products, maybe sublingual products?
That's an interesting question, Josh. The method that the CBD gets into the body is less important than the total amount of CBD that gets in the body. And so this is just, CBD has an amazing safety profile. And I would be more concerned with what the individual is taking as far as medications. or whatnot, then I'd be concerned about them taking, 55, 75 milligrams of CBD a day.
I see. Okay. So it's safe for somebody to take all three of these soft gels, essentially, is what I'm getting at. There's no safety issues taking all three of them.
Yeah, there should be no reason. And again, I would just make sure to, with all these, consult with your physician, especially if you're on any sort of other prescription drugs.
Okay, awesome. So just to recap that, guys, it is safe to take all three, but you should check with your physician or consult with your physician before using these products. And especially if you're pregnant or you're nursing, definitely, talk to your physician or your doctor. So with that said, let's move on to the ingredients. There's a handful of ingredients that you've put together for the soft gels. Could you spend a little bit of time just highlighting each ingredient and what it does in the product?
Okay, so the easiest ways to talk about this is the soft gel itself has a shell and a carbohydrate shell, and then the center of the soft gel is the carriers for the beneficial ingredients. So when we look at the shell, we have carrageenan, cornstarch, glycerin, sorbitol, and purified water. The blend of these together allows to form a carbohydrate shell around the internals and basically protect the beneficial ingredients as it passes through the stomach from acidic attack. So in order to build this carbohydrate shell, you have carrageenan and the cornstarch, which forms that mesh matrix of carbohydrates to keep everything inside the gel.
So some of the ingredients, those ingredients are for the shell, and then there's the actual content of what's inside the shell. Is that
exactly? Now let's get to the important thing, which is the internals of the shell, and that is beeswax, sunflower lecithin, the hemp-derived broad-spectrum hemp extract, and MCT oil, and then the additional ingredient, the coffee berry, the melatonin, or the curcumin.
Can you highlight, there's some people asking in the chat, can you highlight what the cornstarch does?
The cornstarch and the carrageenan form the shell itself, the actual physical shell. So therefore it keeps the shape and the beneficials and the inside ingredients of the gel cap within the gel cap. And it prevents it from thermal degradation.
So if you don't have an ingredient like that in the soft, does that mean it would, if you didn't have that, would it like decompose in the bottle if that ingredient wasn't there? Or would it not keep the contents of what's inside the shell? Would it harm that or something like that? Or how does that prevent an issue with the actual soft gel itself?
So yes, it would degrade, and it would be effectively like a gel soft soup.
I see.
And just have no shape at all.
Okay. So, and then tell us about, can you tell us about beeswax? That was one that I was a little bit curious about. Tell us about the benefits of beeswax.
Okay, so the beeswax actually is a great emulsifier, to be honest, as well as it also imparts some stability. And the reason why beeswax got incorporated was because of coffee berry formulation. They were finding it very hard to get a good blend and uniform distribution of the coffee berry extract and the neurofactor in the gel cap runs for their mixing phase. So they had to add the beeswax. So it worked so well in coffee berry that we added it to the melatonin and the curcumin.
I see. Awesome. Well, let's do this. Let's open it up for just a couple questions. I haven't been able to see the chat, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen, go into the chat, and open it up for some questions. So we got a lot of people asking about the how do you pronounce that, Dr.?
Carrageenan. Yes,
okay.
I've been.
That's not in the product, right? That's the actual the shell. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes, it's in the shell. So it is if you look at the total weight of the gel cap, it is a minor component in the overall gel cap. And again, we're using very high quality, high molecular weight carrageenan, and it will break down. Therefore, the shell will lose its composition, releasing the beneficials. But because it's high molecular weight, it actually passes through the digestive tract and is not absorbed by the body.
See. So is it, there's some people asking about red seaweed. Is it extracted from red seaweed?
Yes, it is. That is where it's coming from. And it is a common ingredient used in everything from ice creams to certain gels.
Okay. It's 100% safe in these products?
The high molecular weight food grade is, yes.
And that's what we're using in these soft gels?
I made sure of it. Okay.
And then let me see. Let me look at some more questions here. Let me try to scroll up. Is the CBD plus melatonin safe for kids? Ooh, I'm not sure about that one.
I can answer about melatonin, but we do recommend that these products are for adults, adult use only, and are not approved for children. So that is the compliant answer.
Yeah, and also the soft gels say you should be 18 plus years of age to use the soft gel. So I would not recommend giving these to your kids. Tell us about the cornstarch. Some people are asking about the cornstarch.
Yeah, a lot of cornstarch questions about, and that's just a carbohydrate that we're able to use to form that shell, and it also allows us to use a minimal amount of the carrageenan. So by using those two together, and by a modified, it just means that it is been processed. It's not a GMO cornstarch.
Got it. Okay, let's see. See if I can find a couple other questions. Some people are asking if the cornstarch is non-GMO.
That is correct.
So it's non-GMO cornstarch. Okay. Let me see. Any chance? Oh, can you take both the tinctures and the soft gels together?
And we said that we could do that. Yes. Okay. You should be able to do that.
Okay. We have some people asking still about MCT oil. Some people are saying they are a fan. Some people are saying they're. Can you repeat what you said before about why the MCT oil is important in these soft gels?
It's just based upon the fact that the cold-pressed hemp seed oil was too complex.
Okay.
So it's too complex a mixture that the sunflower lecithin cannot do its job as an emulsifier.
Okay, awesome. I'm going to take just a couple more questions and then we're going to close it out because we're right at 45 minutes. So if you've got any questions, throw them in the chat right now. There's no way that we can answer all of them, but I'll try to pick out a couple and answer it. Here's a good one. Can we put it under our tongue and let it melt instead of swallowing it?
It will. They're actually very thermal stable, so it would be. It could be there for a very long time.
Okay, so the best way is to take it like with water and
yeah.
Okay. Let's see. We can pick out a couple more. Is the coffee berry a patented product just for MDC? The answer to that is no. These are trademarked ingredients that are used in other products as well. But we use those ingredients along with our proprietary genetics with our CBD that we source from our farms. It's for digestion in the small intestine. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes.
Okay. I'll ask a couple more. Safe for the elderly.
Yes, they are. Elderly should be fine.
Okay. A lot of people are asking about sorbitol. Can you talk a little bit about sorbitol, why that's used, and then we'll make that our last question for the day.
Again, sorbitol is also part of that carbohydrate shell. So it is very small amount, and it's used to help form that shell. So that combination of ingredients are just required to be able to form that shell around the internal beneficial ingredients that are in the center, and for it to hold together, because sorbitol also imparts a fair amount of thermal stability.
I see. Awesome. So let me just recap a couple things and then we'll close it out. I want to stress something because there's a lot of questions, and guys, we'll put out as many Q&As as information as we possibly can. We've already put some videos together which you can find on the website. But here's something I want to stress to you guys. If you're looking for the purest way, the cleanest way to take CBD, remember, use the tinctures. That's why we have the Hempworx tinctures available. There's very minimal ingredients in those products. If you're ingredient conscious, if you have allergies, use the tinctures, okay? When we get into other categories like soft gels and other delivery systems, they may not be as minimalistic as the tinctures because you're going from liquid into soft gel or a completely different type of product where other ingredients are required to make those products effective and yield results. So I just want to stress that to everyone. If you're ingredient conscious or you've got allergies or you're concerned about some of the ingredients, the tinctures are the cleanest way, the purest way to get cannabinoids, like Dr. James said at the beginning of this webinar. But if you're interested in these added ingredients, which are very difficult to put into a liquid tincture format, then you can use the soft gels and other future categories that we launch, with Hempworx. I can tell you that the results that people, are experiencing and the excitement around these soft gels are through the roof. Like I said, we're going to probably have to back order one of them next week. The orders that have been coming in just in the last couple of days have been crazy. But we're so excited for you guys to try the products out, get your hands on it. They are available in your auto ship section of the back office. And don't forget, we have our auto ship loyalty program. So that starts in April. So you have an opportunity now where you can go into your back office and set up your auto ship for the new tinctures and the soft gels as well. And the one of the tinctures, we've already sold out of one of the tinctures, which is the 500 milligram strawberry guava. We moved through all the inventory we had on that one. So there's more stock coming in this week on the strawberry guava, and we should be able to reopen that one. But guys, we're really, really excited. I want to thank you guys for attending, this Tuesday training, and we'll see you guys on our virtual launch event this Saturday, where we're going to be talking about some exciting new developments, more new products, lot of exciting stuff that you guys don't want to miss. So go to mdcvirtualevent.com, get registered for the webinar, and we'll see you guys on Saturday. So thank you guys so much. Thank you, Dr. James Sharkey, for your time, and we'll see you guys on Saturday.